Everybody, it's another episode of Marketing for the Rest of Us. I'm your host, Chris Angel. That's me. And if you're here as somebody from the rest of us, if you are the rest of us, you are someone who has a heart for people. And technology can be frustrating. You have no passion for SEO and algorithms. You have a passion to make the world a better place. Regardless of industry, regardless of whatever industry you're in, you want to make the world a better place. And this, my friend, brings us to the conversation of marketing. Because so many times people in marketing who want to make the world a better place can't see how to use marketing to do that. Marketing historically has been very transactional, right? Like, I'm going to send out a message for you to buy my thing. And I might use scarcity, false scarcity, or any kind of manipulation to try to get you to buy my thing. And the reason most of us heart-centered entrepreneurs avoid marketing is because we're unwilling to sell out. We're unwilling to sell out and do that type of marketing. And so what we'll do is we just kind of go to networking events, or we post on social and we do stuff, but we don't go all in on marketing. So tonight, I want to take that conversation further because advertising for me is different than marketing. Advertising is where we start to actually spend money to put a message in front of other people, right? Spending money is different than other kinds of marketing. So advertising, like a Facebook ad or a Google ad, right? Advertising is different. And I think that there's some distinctions to make here for those of you in the transformational space. Or if you're just a heart-centered entrepreneur, that's cool. That isn't in the transformation space. Maybe you're a real estate agent. That's my background. Maybe you're a real estate agent, but you don't have a passion for the transaction. You have a passion to help people. Okay, fine. This applies to you too. So advertising. Well, I'm fresh off of week 5 in my second program. My second program is called The Fetch. And today we started to dive into how to use advertising in such a way that we can make the world a better place. So I want to unpack that a little bit. Let's just start here. Okay, here's the best place to start. For me, advertising is about relationship, not selling. Advertising is about relationship, not selling. When you realize that you can use your dollars to put your message, your content in front of the ideal people for you, right? Like we have to understand, like, there are people who are ideal for you, and then there are people who are not ideal for you. You're not going to serve everybody. And if you could serve those who are ready to hear what you had to say, that would be better. Now, rather than using your advertising dollars to try to sell them, it would be better, in my opinion, if you used advertising to try to build a relationship with them. This is the beginning of how we change our relationship to advertising and marketing. It is also the beginning of how other people on the receiving end of advertising begin to experience change or experience, I don't know if you want to call it a rebirth, but like at some point we have to be the change that we want to see. And what I know about most people on the receiving end of advertising is it feels bad. People don't like to be interrupted. They don't like to be sold. And a lot of advertising is just that way. So the first place to start, like I said, is to begin to think about advertising as a way to increase and deepen relationship with people who could be ideal for you, versus using advertising to try to sell something. You see the difference, right? Like, one, I'm investing in relationship, and one, I'm trying to make a transaction happen. Do you see how if I used my money to share my message with more people such that those people were left inspired, right, or challenged in their perspective to see their life or their opportunities in a different way, versus trying to sell something, that the first way actually makes the world a better place? Now, if you use your advertising dollars to create relationship and make the world a better place, my question for you then becomes, if you nurtured those relationships, does a sale become more probable? I think it does. I think when people, listen, people are people, humans are humans. I think that people buy people, right? People want to know, like, and trust you before they feel safe buying from you, especially if you're in the transformation space. Just because you say you're a coach, for example, doesn't mean that people feel safe giving you $1,000 a month or whatever your fee is. So it is a requirement for you to have built trust, for people to trust you, right? And like you. But how do we do that beyond our immediate sphere of influence? Well, this is where advertising comes in, and you can use advertising to share your message with a wider audience that is a better aligned fit for you, like an audience that is a better fit for you than just advertising to the masses. And as you do that, if you spend money to put your message in front of an ideal audience, what happens is and if you do it consistently, not one time to make a transaction, but you invest in the relationship. And relationships take time. You invest in the relationship. And in investing in the relationship over and over, they keep seeing you. And in keep seeing you with your content, they get to know you. They see where you come from. They see what you're about. And some of them, not all of them, but some of them will become fans. And in becoming fans, when you have another program or a next thing, they might just reach out to you for help. This is where I think for those of us in the transformation space, where we want to make change in the world, we want to help people level up, we have to get comfortable with the conversation of advertising. We have to get comfortable with the conversation of advertising. What I can tell you is the answer is not to avoid advertising. That's not the answer, right? In fact, I think the answer is more like you and I get to change how advertising is used. We get to be cause in the matter. We get to change how advertising is used, and we can use it in a way that makes the world better. So rather than playing into the problems that people already feel and experience with advertising, let's be the change in advertising that we want to see. So we're going to use our dollars to invest in relationship. And in investing in relationship, people will come to know us, what we stand for, what we're about, where we're going, and how we can help them. And then people will choose whether they want to work with us or not, right? They will self-select into relationship with us. Okay. So in summary, let's wrap this up. There's obviously a lot that goes into this. I'm giving you the 30,000 foot view here, but what I want you to walk away tonight from this episode with is that advertising is good when it is used for good. Advertising is good when you use it to invest in relationship for the people that you're seeking to serve. Okay, so if we can start there, we can start to have a more productive conversation about, well, if that is true, then how do I begin to get my my message out there in the world such that it helps the people I'm trying to serve? And that actually becomes the entire puzzle to solve. Yes, that becomes the place we go to work. But we can't go to work there until you can wrap your head around the idea that, right, the principle that advertising can be used for good. Advertising can be used to invest in relationship and not just make a sale. Okay. All right, gang. So that's it for tonight. If you would like help, obviously with advertising, you're going to have to say something in an ad. You have to say something in advertising. And most people, not only can they not get their head around advertising, they don't even know what to say. So if you'd like help, if you're in the transformation space, or listen, if you're just a heart-centered person in business and you're like, I really want to help people, but you've been avoiding marketing, I have a 6-week program designed to help you find your message and share it with the world, such that by the end of a small, short 6-week program, you are inspired by the message you're sharing, and that actually becomes the foundation from which you can advertise. And that you can advertise in a way that makes the world a better place. So if you'd like help with that, go to groundswellmethod.com. The link is in the text of this post, and watch the free videos. At the end of those free videos, there is an application button. Hit that button, fill out the application, and it comes to me. Thanks for hanging out with me in this episode of Marketing for the Rest of Us. Until tomorrow, when we go live again, here's to you making the world a better place through your advertising.